Well, hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what it took for me to get the top side of the deck glassed in to this boat over here. Also, I've got a couple of things that I have bought for the boat and I haven't unboxed them yet. I've been waiting to do that on camera so that you can see what I've got whenever I'm seeing it for the first time. So, stick around to the end of this video for that, and let's get started on this entry of Project Glastron. Alright, so after I finished the pouring foam in the last video, I got started by taking a 1/2 inch paddle bit in my Craftsman cordless drill and going to each of the holes that I had drilled and took the paddle bit and just kind of routed out that foam, the excess foam that is, that came up to the top of the deck there. I had a lot of these to do, as you can see, so just kind of went to each one of those in order to take away some of that excess foam that I didn't need. This was the best way. Taking a paddle bit really cuts through the foam quickly. Also, I took a DA sander after that was done, and I tried to get rid of the rest of the residue of foam that was stuck to the top of the deck. I also used a wood chisel to take away some of the thicker buildup spots. I don't know if you can really tell in the fast forward here, but that's another way I was able to clean up quite a bit. And then once the sanding was done, I took acetone to the entire deck to get rid of all the dust particulate, just to really get the deck nice and clean before moving on to the fiberglassing steps that were to come. So as you can see here, I mixed up a good batch of fiberglass putty. This is also called thickened resin, if this is one of the first videos that you've seen of my series here. So then I went around to each of the holes that I created in the deck and that I had just cleared the foam down in, and I filled them with this fiberglass resin or fiberglass putty. And quickly here, just kind of speeding through all of it, it's also handy to have a plastic spreader or squeegee, however you want to refer to them as. I also even used a spatula. You just need something to help spread this fiberglass putty across the top of the deck. It really helps you get it all nice and smooth across to give you a nice flat surface on top of where you just put this putty in, because you're trying to make a good clean flat surface without any bumps or bruises on top. So after I got that done, I moved on to measuring and cutting out the layers of CSM. As I told you in the last video, I'll be doing 2 layers of CSM on top of the deck to make it all nice and finished off. I measured my deck width here. The roll is, I believe it's 50 inches standard length, and then I would roll it to the width I needed the hole. So my width here, I believe, was around 61 inches, and then I added a couple inches onto that, so I'd have a little bit to go up on the sides of the hole, as you can see. And then I did that from front to back on the first and second layers. Also, after I had the layers in the boat, I trimmed them to make sure there weren't any high spots, to make sure they were going to go right up to the gunnels, or just short of the gunnels if it was the first layer, and make sure they had a good fit. Then I put the layers first and second on opposite sides of the boat, so when I'm laying down my fiberglass here shortly, I can just go right along and do first layer first on one side without having to think, and then when I got ready to the second layer, it was on the opposite side of the boat, and I was able to just pick it up and lay it down front and back as I worked my way putting this stuff down. Again, I did another wipe down of acetone real quick before getting to this spot here where I'm about to start applying the resin, and then I'm gonna put down my layers. And let me just say, CSM, I don't know if you've ever worked with it before, and if you haven't, something to keep in mind: don't be stingy with the resin. Something I learned by working with CSM up until this point is be heavy-handed with it, because it is a thirsty material. It will drink up a lot of resin, and I was prepared for this. I ordered more resin just to make sure I had enough, and that's one of the secrets to working with CSM, is put a lot of resin down. Obviously you don't want to put too much where you're just wasting, but again, mix up some big batches, start using it, you'll see how far it goes, and then as you're getting towards the end of it, you'll know how much you're going to need to finish your job. I mixed up, the biggest that I would mix up for each one was about 64 ounces. So yeah, about 64 ounces per sheet, except for the 2 small sheets at the very back. But this is it, finishing up the second layers right here, right now. It went pretty well. It's probably the fastest fiberglass work I have done to date. So yeah, there I am finishing up the deck. It is now complete, and I had some leftover resin in my tray, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put a sheet of fiberglass across the basically this is a storage box at the very front of the boat that was without any fiberglass on it. It was just bare wood. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and put a sheet over that, so I did. So that's it. Now let's unbox some stuff. All right, so we'll just start with this one right here. Why not? So I ordered these from Overtons.com. I bought this, I guess I bought it the day after Christmas. So yeah, I guess I bought this the day after Christmas. If you will remember, which, hang on, let me just get it unboxed here. This is my helper, this is Ollie. He's our youngest dog. He's just free roaming here. All right, so you notice I got 2 boxes and they're relatively the same size. So if you're wondering what it is, I have bought new lounge seats for the boat. And they look pretty cool. What else is in there? Ah, here it is. So these are hardened plastic. That's pretty cool. Well, they're not where I can set them up, but anyway, let me kind of take out the plastic and show you what they look like. Well, what do you think about these? We got a pair of seats in this old boat. This is weird. Let me just say, I don't know how many of y'all have watched all the videos of this project here, but one of the first things I did when I got this boat to my house was I got the motor started. Very first thing I did. I looked around in here. I knew the floor was going to be replaced without even working on this thing, because it was so soft. Like when you tried to walk in here, you were literally stepping through the floor. The floor was giving way. So with that knowledge, I never really got to sit in the boat and kind of get a feel for it, because the seats just, you couldn't even sit in them. So yeah, I never got to do this and just kind of take it in, and so it's kind of weird in this stage of it to be doing that. But yeah, this is a long time coming. So you're probably wondering why I bought these seats already to begin with, and why I've got them in the boat. Well, I just stuck them in the boat to show them off to you and show you what they're going to kind of look like, even though there's not a cap on here. This has not been upholstered or gel coated or anything in here. This is far from done. But with the deck done, I could finally set these in here and kind of figure out where they're going to go. And if I was going to do any kind of modifications to the deck to mount these bases to when the time comes, I wanted to see that now and try to make plans on what I'm going to do there. So that's another reason. But yeah, if you remember, I took those old seats out, and I knew when I took those old seats out, they would not go back in this boat. I didn't like the shape of them. These have got a little bit different shape. They've kind of got a bolstered sides to them, so you can kind of actually sit in the middle. The other ones, they were a bit flat, if I remember correctly. Also, these are two-tone and different pattern. I do not like the pattern of the other ones. I don't like that they're a single tone. I just think they were very bland, and I'm not going to make this boat look super modern. I'm just going to do a few little touches here and there to make it my own. That's kind of been the goal the whole time. And this is kind of one of the first things that you guys got to see of that so far in this series. This was the only style of seat that had a color pattern that I liked. This is a light gray and a slate gray. I have also ordered a bunch of vinyl samples for all the gunnel padding and all the interior pieces that are going to be getting replaced here. They are all going to be shades of gray here. The floor and the outside of the boat and the cap, that'll all be the white and blue color scheme. But as far as the seats and upholstery, I'm going with these shades here. Anyway, I've got a bunch of free samples, like I said, coming to me that I'm going to pick the shades that I want, and then I'm going to order enough to do that. So I will be doing some upholstering myself. I just didn't want to build seats. I wanted to buy something pre-made, and these were a good deal. These were from Overton's, and one of the other things I liked about them, besides the color and the pattern, was the price. These are both, $350 together, shipping, tax, and everything. I think maybe $356, $359, something somewhere in that range. So that was a pretty good deal. I got them the day after Christmas. I ordered them online. Tell you two other reasons I like these seats. The upholstery is a 3-year warranty on the upholstery. So that means if I just tear these things up within the first 3 years, or even just the first year, say I wear them out the first year and they're not even that great, I'll tell you, and I'm going to cash in that warranty. The base, the plastic base that these things sit on, that's another reason I like them. They have a 6-year warranty, which is awesome. Also, they're plastic. They're not wood. Some people are going to think that's kind of nutty, but they're actually they're pretty stout little plastic from what I've seen so far, and that's one less thing I got to worry about wood rot. Even the seat frames themselves, they are plastic. So again, it's not going to be for everybody, but for me, I wanted this right here. I wanted plastic, and I wanted this pattern and style of seat, and I'm happy. They are not mounted by any stretch. They're not even mounted to the bases. I've just got them sitting here where I could sit in it and see what they kind of feel like in the boat. I think this is kind of a general distance they'll be from the positioning front to back, left to right. I think this is pretty close. I mean, I'm not going to say it's spot on. So as far as what to expect from here as progression, I ordered some new, I guess I'm going to call them eye boats or tie down points that go off the back of the boat. There were 2 on each side of the transom in the rear, and I took those out. They won't go back on the boat because the threads were kind of stripped out when I took them off. So I ordered some new stainless steel ones. Those haven't arrived yet, but those will be going on. I'm also going to be gel coating or painting. I'm still not 100% on which I'm doing yet. Underneath the bow rider section of the boat. I'm going to get that done next, those 2 items. And the reason for that is because shortly after that's done and I'm able to strap this hull down, I'm going to be taking this boat to storage, some dry storage, and getting it out of here so that I can bring the cap into this spot in my garage and start doing some cap repair and modifications. Once the cap is repaired and modified in the way that I am wanting to do, I'll bring this hull back in here and we'll put the cap back on. I'll be fiberglassing it together in the back and button it up and have it all cap back on the boat. We're close to that. I have to get this part gel coated first because once the cap's on, I won't have access to it anymore. But I'm not gel coating this yet because
I'm still deciding on a couple of things of what to do here with the deck. I don't want to give too much away, but there's some big ideas going on as far as after the cap and everything is on here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I couldn't resist putting the seats in the boat. So thanks again for sticking around this far in the video and seeing what these kind of look like. If you're interested in these seats, again, I got them at overtons.com. I'll put a link in the description of the video so you can check the seats out yourself. As long as they're available on the site, that link will be in the description. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for thumbs up, thank you for everything you all do out there, and please consider subscribing so I can see you next time.